How's it going, everyone? This is Jay from Cubold Gaming. Terraria Master Mode is a huge jump in difficulty that leaves many players wanting to quit. It's definitely a challenge even for experienced players, but I'm going to give you 7 tips on ways to make it a bit easier. Number 1. Avoid confrontation when possible. Probably the best tip on this list is, whenever you're able to, avoid fighting enemies altogether. The enemies in Master Mode are so incredibly tanky and damaging that sometimes it's best to just leave them alone. This can involve things such as blocking off caves underground to stop enemies from getting to you, or choosing to dig around enemies instead of going through a cave filled with monsters. Going outside at night is one of the worst things you can do at the beginning of Master Mode, so it's best if you stay inside your base or just go mining. Until you get to the end of the game, it almost always is best to avoid fighting enemies, especially ones in large groups. Number 2. Create a hellevator early on. Once you have a decent pickaxe, digging a hellevator will make exploring underground a whole lot easier. Without a hellevator, you need to maneuver through tons of caves just to find new ones, but a hellevator will let you drop down immediately and find new caves while you're digging it. There's really not any downside to making one, so you might as well make one sooner than later. Digging a hellevator lets you get to the underworld very quickly, which gives you access to tons of potions in the hell houses. Number 3. Get grav potions and loot floating islands. As soon as you get a single grav potion, immediately search for floating islands. One of the best items you can possibly get is a lucky horseshoe, but star furies and balloons are also insanely helpful. Searching for grav potions in particular is another reason you should make a hellevator. The sooner you loot the floating islands, the easier time you'll have with the game. Number 4. Get a ranged weapon quickly. In Master Mode, the best weapon type you can have is ranged. There are a ton of great melee and magic weapons later on, but in pre-hard mode, it's best to stay as far away from enemies as you can. You can even use melee weapons that have ranged attacks, such as a Star Fury or Ice Blade. Basically any weapon that has ranged attacks will be better than just straight up melee weapons. I found that early on, it's sometimes better to make melee armor instead of ranged armor because of its better defense. Even if you're using a ranged weapon, I highly recommend using the melee helmet instead. Number 5. Create a large potion farm. Potions have always been useful in Terraria, but Master Mode makes them essential. Every boss is made infinitely easier with the right potions, so I recommend making one big enough so that you'll never run out of herbs. You need to beat a few bosses to unlock all of the planter boxes though, so just plant what you can and slowly make a farm. Number 6. Create large boss arenas. Besides potions, the next best thing to do would be to make a large boss arena. I personally don't like making arenas, but I found that it was almost always necessary if I wanted to defeat certain bosses. In every arena, you should put regeneration accessories such as campfires and heart lanterns. It might get boring sometimes, but you can often reuse arenas to farm bosses for materials. Number 7. Make an invasion base. One thing you absolutely need to do before getting into hard mode is to create a well-defended base for invasions. The first Master Mode pirate invasion I had was an absolute disaster, but a closed-off base surrounded by lava made it almost too easy. I can basically sit in my base and let the lava do most of the work for me, and there's barely any threat of dying. The sooner you make one of these bases, the easier time you'll have defending in invasions. And that's gonna be it for my 7 quick Master Mode tips. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.